cameras rolling. I know JB here. I'm finna be in HD.
Yes,
sir. He been doing this for a minute. I'm in HD, baby.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Bring this down just a little bit.
Yeah, because Slugo he definitely gonna give me the volume.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna get animated.
All right, we got speed?
We got speed.
All right, 5, 4.
You're in tune to Chicago's most popular college music radio station. 89.3 is WKKC. This is Focus Talk, the thought-provoking, solution-oriented talk show daring to make a difference in our communities. We're talking on a regular basis because the answers really matter. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about politics, religion, personal development, music, history, and then from time to time, we are spotlighting positive people who are doing positive things in the Inglewood community, right here in the Chicagoland area, as well as across the entire United States. I'm your host, Dennis Snipe. Joining me in the studio today is the king of Ghetto House, better known as DJ Slugo. DJ Slugo, how are you, sir?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I am well.
Yes, sir.
I am well. Now, first of all, we've got a lot to talk about.
I'm ready.
But why do they call you the king of Ghetto House?
Because I'm the king. Like,
You're the king?
What is... they call it juke now.
Okay.
But for the younger kids who don't know what it is, but I'm one of the original guys who came up with the sound. So even with my constituents that helped me, come up with the sound, Farley actually was the reason Farley was like, you dope, like from one king to another king. And he was like, you got to claim it. You just got to start saying it. And then if anybody contested, then you just knock their head off. Okay. And I was like, okay, well, I'm the king of Ghetto House then. And it just stuck and nobody's contested it. So I'm the king.
So now that particular genre of music is what the young people are calling juke now.
Juke music now, yeah. And footwork music. It went from Ghetto House to footwork. Ghetto House to juke, and then from juke to footwork.
Okay, so since there is a line of demarcation between house and then Ghetto House, now when do you cross over? When does house become Ghetto House?
When it has words that you can't say on radio. You know what I mean? That type of Ghetto House is that. Like when you come to radio station, there's certain records, 75% of my catalog can't be played on radio. So that tells you the difference. Old school house, it was happy. And when we were hearing it, we weren't in a happy space and we weren't living in happy times. So the music didn't fit the parties that we were doing. So we came up with our own style.
So bring me this. Who is DJ Slugo?
A kid from the Robert Taylor homes, raised by my mom, father, son, friend, DJ, producer, international DJ now. So that's me, all in a nutshell.
So as far as the genre of music that we were talking about music in Chicago, and for all intents and purposes, you can't mention it without mentioning your name.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely embedded in the Chicago history. A lot of my friends, even people I grew up with, be like, "You're an icon, bro. Like you're a legend." And I'm humble with it. I don't really, I don't care about none of that. If it doesn't equal $1 for me, I don't need the titles. You know what I mean? But I take them. But at the end of the day, it's like if that title's not gonna bring me an extra check, man, I don't care nothing about that. Like, call me what you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, it's like. I was just telling my aunt, I helped my aunt put out her book. Actually, did I give you a book, JB?
No, sir.
I had it with me. What'd I do with the book?
You got it with you.
Yeah, I got it with me. Maybe it's outside. But I helped my aunt put her book out. And this is the woman who helped my mom raise me. So for me to be able to help her put a book together was like something historical for me. And to be able to DJ her book signing, I called everybody, JB, everybody. I need everybody to buy a book. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm a kid from the projects, man. Like I grew up in Robert Taylor homes, a 4950 905, and to be to come from that to be a DJ traveling the world playing music for thousands of people and getting paid to do it, like you can't make that story up, man. Like it's like, if JB's been around me for a while. If you knew my life from where I came and all the struggles I went through to where I'm at now, like you will wake up every morning super thankful. Like you can't tell me I don't care what type of God you want to call it, there's something more powerful than me in this world. And I know that for a fact. Like I've been through it all.
You brought up your auntie's book.
Yes.
And actually that was one of my questions. What's the name of her book?
It's called I Wish You Would. And her name is Spring Etta Edwards. And the book is called I Wish You Would. And she's literally writing about she grew up in the projects. Mm-hmm. And the stories in there, like I got some family members who it ruffled a lot of feathers, because she just, instead of her going to therapy, she put it all in the book. Everything.
So this is her autobiography.
Yes, and she let it all out. Like I was shocked at some of the things she's saying in the book, so that people might need to read that, especially some of the family members.
What role did you have in creating the book?
She had wrote 2 books. Like she had enough writings she had been writing over the years to write 2 books. And my grandbaby had accidentally called her phone. It was ironic. It was crazy. Accidentally called her phone. And I was like, who you talking to? And it was my aunt. And I got on the phone and we ended up start talking about some of her writings. And I was like, why you ain't never wrote a book? And she was like, I don't know the first thing about that. And luckily it was another lady, what is her name? I can't think of her first name. Vanessa. I can't think of Vanessa Collins. And she had been trying to get me to write a book for 3 years. She'd been trying to get me to write a book. She'd been trying to persuade me to write a book for 3 years. And I was like, okay, let me push my auntie off on her, and that'll get her off me for a while. So I introduced her to my auntie, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, they was like, we got something together already. She's working on it. We putting it together, and about a month later, they had a book. And they was like, you brought this together. And I was like, wow, my auntie got a book. And she cries every time I get on the phone with, like, oh, baby, you made this possible. I'm like, yeah, but you made me possible, because my auntie is the reason I stayed out of trouble a lot. Like, me and my brothers were kind of bad kids, So,
just kind of bad.
Yeah,
kids.
Just kind of, But we had a mom, a zero tolerance mom, who whatever was in the house to use to teach you a lesson, she would hit you with it. So, the only thing I feared in life coming up was my mom. Teacher be like, I'm gonna call your mom, please. Don't call my mama. You can do anything you wanted to do to me, but please don't call my mama. Because I already knew when I got home, it was going to be real crazy. Like, and I think my mom, every time I see my mom, I think of like, I appreciate them beatings. I appreciate them beatings. I appreciate, cursing us out, all that, because I know you wanted better for us. And she was a single mom raising 5 kids. So I tell people all the time, you want to know who my hero is? I watched my mama struggle. That's my hero. I watched my mama struggle in the projects with 5 kids, and all of us okay, all of us doing well. Who else would be your hero? That's my hero. I don't look up to nobody else. I look up to my mama. You know what I'm saying? So, and my aunt.
DJ Slugo, when were you first introduced to music?
As a kid, my grandma's a connoisseur of music, like, and she still dances. My grandmother's 91 or 92, and still can outdance everybody in the family. Like,
really?
Yeah, my grandma. So I scratched up a few of her albums. I scratched up my mom's albums. Like, I was into music, and my uncles are singers. Like, they was, coming up with the Shy Lights and all those people. My uncles, them from that era, and I got one uncle, and he was in one of those groups. And, I got a chance, as a young age to watch. Actually, my cousin who taught me how to DJ is his son. So our family is very, musically oriented. So, it was, my whole life sitting and listening. Like, I know all of the old school music from sitting around listening to my mama and my uncles and my aunties play these records. Back as a kid, you was like, oh my God, like they gonna play James Brown one more time, and James Brown, Al Green, people like that, Smokey Robinson. My uncle was Smokey Robinson crazy. I know all the Smokey Robinson records because of him. I used to be around him. He taught me, may he rest in peace, but he taught me a lot about life, and the do's and the don'ts and how to, carry myself being in that type of environment, to stay out of trouble and how to carry myself in the hood. So, my uncle, but he was a Smokey Robinson fan, man. Like, that's all you heard of him. And I used to be like, why y'all listen to this sad music, man? Like, this music is sad, but I'm very musically inclined when it comes to music. Like, I got the chance to hear music when instruments were in before drum machines.
So do you think that was a profound shaping of your career and how you see music and what you do with it now?
The crazy part about it is, in high school, I hated music class. Like, my piano teacher used to try to teach me how to play piano, and I used to always say to her, I'm never gonna have any use for playing a piano. And I'm eating those words to this day. Like, now I gotta pay for piano lessons or something she was trying to teach me for free back then. Mm-hmm. But it definitely shaped me, because once I took my roots and said, nah, you into music, and I saw my cousin them DJing, I'm like, nah, I want to learn that. And once they taught me, and it was like, no, I know music. Like, I know beat counting and things like that, hearing the different measures, 8 bars, 16 bars. I learned how to count music young, patting my feet and watching my uncles and them dance and stuff like that, or them in the band practicing. And I'm saying, how is they keeping a rhythm like that? But then I end up learning from my uncle that the drummers was the key to the entire band. And I'm like, why? And he was like, he keeps the rhythm. Watch him. And I used to be like, oh. And then church. Church was big too. I used to go to church, and I was forced to go to church with my grandma, but I always watched the choir and the bands at the church. I never paid attention to the word or what was going on. I was always focused on the choir and the band, like watching the drummer, like, oh, okay, I get it now. And watching the bass players, I'd be in a jamming, like it was a jam. Church was a jam session for me. So it was like, I like church. They jamming up in here. You know what I mean? So yeah, music is all my life since I was a kid.
Tell me about your first experience going to a radio station.
Oh man, how old was I? Maybe 15, 14, something like that. I might have been about 14, maybe younger. And Pink House was a icon in the projects. Like, we looked up to may he rest in peace, man. That dude and his heart, man, like, oh man, he's like a super nice dude. And I just walked up on him one day and was like, hey man, I want to go to the radio. You should take me to a radio station. He just looked like, all right, I got you. And of course they used to spin us because we were shorties. And one day he was coming out the building and was like, hey, you still want to go to the radio station? I'm like, yeah. And he took me and brought me up to KKC. And I was like, you a kid, you in amazement. Like, you see the mics and you looking at the glass windows, like, and you was like, wait a minute. So it also threw me off a little bit, because I was like, all of the stuff we hearing on radio, like, you watching them pre-record stuff and saying, oh, that's how they don't make no mistakes. Like, oh, they editing this stuff. Oh, okay. But it was an experience for me that I had never forgot. Like, man, at first I thought I wanted to do radio. And then I saw all of the stuff that goes on the radio. I was like, no, I'm a little bit too lazy for that, so I'm not going to do that, But went on to school and did school and stuff like that. And after school, I got the chance to play my junior or sophomore year. The DJ didn't show up, and I got a chance to, like, I'll do it. And everybody didn't know I had equipment in the house the whole time. And they was like, you can DJ? Mm-hmm. I've been practicing. My cousin told me I can DJ, and they let me DJ and messed up and paid me. And that was it.
That was it.
Oh yeah, you wait a minute, I get some money for this? I'd have did it for free. I was that excited about DJing back in the days that I would have DJ'd all of the parties for free. That's how bad I wanted to be my cousin them, because they were super popular. Like, they had when they threw parties down on State Street and things like that, everything was shut down. The police couldn't even control the parties. It was just like, let them party as long as they don't fight. Just let them party. And we should be out there till like, my mama wouldn't let me go past 8 o'clock. My mama would be on the porch screaming our name. Me and my brother, Thompson, go ahead. At 8 o'clock, we on the porch. Everybody else downstairs, and we just on the porch watching everybody dance and older people stepping and stuff like that. And, the projects was an experience, man. Like, music and that one time him taking me to the radio station was like, man, I don't know if I think I want to do radio. I want to be into music. That's what sparked me. I was gone from there.
So now, what are you doing now musically, and how has those experiences play into what you do now?
Well, I'm definitely on radio, and I ain't gonna say the radio station because I'm on another radio station, but I'm on radio now. I do mixes. I do mixes for the radio station, but I'm also still DJing, and production is my biggest thing. So being able to actually make a record and watch people dance to your record, or somebody walk up to you and be like, oh, that last record you did, and the drums, and and then these are foreign people saying this to you, and it's like, I always tell my homies, like, it's crazy that I'm around y'all, hanging with them, sitting in the house with them, we kicking it, playing games, and they just look at me like Slugo or Thomas. But when I'm in these other countries, it's like I'm a DJ god, you know what I mean? So it's like when you come home, it'd be like, why am I hanging? Y'all don't even treat me like these people, you know what I mean? Y'all don't look up to me like these people look up. But I mean, it humbles me to be around my brothers and stuff like that. It'd be like, bro, it makes me normal being around them. Other than that, my head would be enormously big. But the experiences, traveling and everything, going out the country and stuff like that, DJing, man. Shouts to Terry Hunter. Like, he keeps me humble. Like, when I'm getting ready to travel, I always call him like, hey, I'm finna go to Italy. What should I do? And he would give me advice. I called him when I went to Belgium. Now I'm on my way to Dublin, Ireland. And ironically, my grandmother calls me and says, your great-grandfather's from there. Your history is from Ireland. I'm gonna send you some information. You can do some research while you over there. And I'm like, whoa, okay, cool. So
now I'm so very curious. How does it feel to be going to these different countries, these different states, viewing different people who look nothing like you?
Feel humbling. That's the word. It's humbling. Like I was telling you earlier when I was in here, and I don't mind telling you, like, I cried in Italy, man. Like, broke down in the shower. Like, you gotta understand, like, you a kid from the projects and you looking like, wow. I'm looking at my hotel window saying, I am literally over 6,000 miles away from the United States, finna play for a crowd of 3,000 people. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, I went from the porch, DJing on the porch of Robert Taylor Homes, and I'm finna DJ in front of a crowd of 3,000 people. You can't make that story. I never would have been able to say, I'm gonna be this big DJ traveling the world. Ever. I didn't DJ, that was not my idea in high school or grammar school. Like, and the crazy part about it is, one of the girls, we got this 30-year anniversary coming up for our school, and one of the girls reminded me, like, you in the yearbook as the most likely to succeed. And I was like, am I? Because I didn't remember that, because I was a clown in school. Like, I was the joke. We used to joke all the time, and because school was so easy for us. Like, we were all principal scholars. I graduated top 10 in my class, but I was a clown. Like, I didn't like school because it was like, I went to do Sabo, bro. And I lived in the projects. The school was right across the street from my house. So it was like, school was boring to me, man. It was like, I don't like math. I'm never gonna use this. That's how I thought. English, why? I have no plans on writing anything. It was just like, it was really where I was from. Like, being around those particular people. And I tell people all the time now, change your environment, because if I'd have went from off the environment of where I came from, I'll be nothing right now. Because
change your environment.
Change your environment in your circle. Because if you're hanging around, when people say, now, I don't believe in the thing when they say if you hang around millionaires, you'll be a millionaire. No, that's not true. If you hang around millionaires, you work like the millionaires work, then you'll be a millionaire. But it's easy to be a bum. If you hang around bums and all they do is drink, smoke, kick it, and hang out, and you do the same thing, you're gonna be a bum. Plain and simple. But millionaires, they work. You follow their work ethic. You figured out what they done and how they got to where they are, and then you follow those formats and hang around them. And if they fortunate enough to maybe give you a hand, like, hey, bro, I can help you with that, And what I've learned, that being able to have liquid cash. Like, I learned this from being on a golf course with some Caucasian guys. They were like, hey, if you're able to reach and touch thousands of dollars when a situation finna happen, you're gonna always be able to beat people in life.
You're watching Focus Talk TV with your host, Dennis Snipe.